Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John. And excuse the lighting in here, we've just got some new lights, really bright as you can tell. And we've got that one there that's going to try and diffuse the subject, but I think it's a bit aggressive. But it's better than like that than not be able to see us at all because I'm filming this after we know that it's this time of year, the light sort of diminishes really quickly. But I wanted to open this because I've just received off my good friend David John Barnes. He sent this across to me, got in touch with me and said, would you like these couple of things? And I was like, wow. So he sent them across and I can't thank David enough. Another thing I'm constantly amazed by is the postage and packaging that is attached to these. Special delivery. You just can't thank David once again for getting this to me in the greatest fashion. So nurse, scalpel please. Thank you very much. We've been talking quite a lot recently on Instagram messages, getting a bit of a rapport going, especially about football and where our teams are in the world at the minute. Both coming off a bit of lackluster performances recently. One last night for the Toon. We lost 2-0 to West Ham, which I wasn't expecting, if I'm honest. I thought we would have beaten them, but it is what it is. There you go. Are you watching Amazon or Zavi or anyone like that who don't put the necessary stuff inside here to make sure that this is going nowhere. This look at that, absolutely brilliant. I hope this light is really not. I'm trying to think where the best place to be for this light, but it is what it is. I can't turn it down, can I? I've got a dimmer switch. Although I wish I had at this point. Right. So extremely well wrapped in this really good bubble wrap actually. Or and I'm seeing these for the first time, even though I know what they are. I haven't really seen them at all in the flesh. And what I will do is there's two here. I'll put them to one side and I'll just show you what they are. So first up, see if I can get this right way around. First up is, oh my God, look at this. Night Beast. Now, Night Beast, if you know, you know. Look at this, look at the spot glossy here, actually. Look at that, there you go. Let's quote it there. This, of course, is from Vinegar Syndrome, one of the best companies out there for their slipcovers are just second to none. Now, my familiarity with Night Beast is the fact that this used to be a movie that was used to rent out because the cover on it was just so incredible. It was always one that jumped out at you in the video library. And I got this out, and I just remember this being just a wild ride. But I really do think that the VHS one was actually cut. And this one will obviously be uncut. I've never seen it since those days. I didn't own this apart from getting it out the video library. So it's a long time since seeing this. And yeah, there's the creature there, the night beast, should I say. So as well as this amazing slipcover, obviously there's going to be something to say. Look at this. Still sealed. That's the cover. That's the cover I remember. Used to see it in the video live and you think, I have got to see that. What I'll do is I'll have a look at through this. I'll see what they look like. I'll take some screenshots so you can see what they're like. Obviously, Vinegar Syndrome are another one of those companies when you can look at them, you can think you will know that you will probably get the best ever version of this when you get released. And it's got lots of special features on. It does say the disc it's a Blu-ray. It does say that the disc is region free as well. So I'll put that to the test and see if it is. Because sometimes they say they are and they aren't and vice versa. So this is amazing. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, I don't believe this. As always, these Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers are highly sought after. I don't know how much this one is. I don't know if it's out of print. It probably is because these things just come and go. So that's the first one. Night Beast. Absolutely incredible. Can't wait to see this film. It has been such a long time seeing it. It was a constant one that was seen on the shelves for that video cover there. And the next one is, and I hope I get this one, that's it. Hope I get this the right way around, is the grave. Look at this. I love these when they come out at the bottom, the slip covers. This is now what is it? It's a VSA release. That's it there. I always get this mixed up with other things, but I like to get the right terminology of it. Now this is limited edition there. This one is number 3197 of 5,000, the grave. This you can't hear this on this microphone, but this is a solid. I mean, I don't know. I keep thinking to myself, I would love to know how they do this, how they make these slip covers, because they're second to none. They're more like slip cardboard, if that's a thing. This one probably, as the Night Beast will have, it'll have alternative art on the inside. I can't imagine us ever turning the art round on that Night Beast one because that's so iconic. If you were around in the video library in the 80s, you would have seen that one on the shelves. Even if you haven't seen it, you would have seen that cover. It's one of them ones, isn't it? Those iconic ones. So what I do now, I'll go and have a look at these, take a screenshot, tell you if they're region free or not, and I'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts on this. And I've got to say a massive thank you to David, John, great name, Barnes, and just I can't thank you enough. And your generosity is just unbelievable. And as you know, I'm a huge, I mean, who isn't a huge fan of Vinegar Syndrome? I tell you what, when I put this on, I just really was transported back to that video shop and when I got that video out. I still remember getting it out, actually. I got it out a couple of times. Now, the main thing about this movie is from 1982, and it is ultra low budget. And I mean low budget. And that's one of the best things about it. Although, when you got this out in 82, you weren't that familiar with low budget movies. That became a thing you got more into the more you went into these, delving these obscure horror films or sci-fi horror films, should I say. You do get a DVD with this one. I've kept it with this one. This will never be surpassed. Although this cover here is pretty good. The alternative art, not bad at all. But it can only be one for me in this one. I'm so glad they do have that on. It's iconic in the UK. In a dazzling meteor shower. Now, do know the effects in here are far from dazzling, but that's the charm of this movie. The Night Beast lands near a small East Coast town, armed with his vaporizing ray gun and the goal of killing everyone who crosses his path. Why not? As area residents are blasted to smithereens, the local sheriff and an ever dwindling group of survivors become determined to figure out a way to deal with this fearsome alien before their entire community is wiped out. A dazzling display of lo-fi ambition from Baltimore-based cult filmmaker and underrated auteur Don Dola, who made Alien Factor and Fiend. Night Beast immediately plunges the viewer into a frenzy of wildly colourful and stunning animation techniques. Actually, it's non-stop action from the start, I must admit that. Made for a scant $14,000 and featuring a soundtrack partially composed by then teenage J.J. Abrams from Star Trek Star Wars Episode 8. Is that right? Can you believe it? Vinegar Syndrome proudly brings this regional sci-fi horror classic to Blu-ray in a brand new 2K restoration from its 16mm camera original. Yeah, I mean, what is not to like about that? Now, when I put it on, I was expecting this to look, and I remember the VHS looking really ropey, and by that I mean it looked really dark. And you couldn't really make out many of the scenes apart from the stuff that was in the light. And I've got to say that this one, it's not perfect. Don't get us wrong. It can never be perfect. It's 16mm and it's really low budget. It's shot for next to nothing. But they've really scrubbed this one up and it looks really nice, I've got to say. I did know going into this that this film was really low budget, but I'm really surprised at how Vinegar Syndrome have cleaned this one up with it being a 16mm print and everything. But cannot fault them. Again, they release a cult classic for me. If you haven't seen it and you don't know about it, and you like a really cheap, low budget, Hawcom sci-fi classic, look no further than this. It's just wow. As you've seen from the screenshots, there's some amazing hairdos in that one as well, and moustaches. So, as always, I'll put this in this protective case, which will keep it minty fresh. Like I say, this is brand new. And I've had a look online. I'm pretty sure the slipcover is out of print. So that's another massive thank you to David for that because I mean these things are just when they go out of print, basically it's a bit like gold dust to try and track down. And as you when you get Vinegar Syndrome, one of the best things about them is to get that all elusive slip cover. And there it is, totally protected. That'll go on the shelf in my Vinegar Syndrome collection. Absolutely amazing. So the grave, which doesn't actually fit into one of these because it's just that little bit too wide, if you can see. This, what a lovely presentation this is. So what I've done is I put the other cover on it. This is the cover from the back. So kind of, if you take it off, you've got both of them to look at. And the other cover obviously is this one here. And it says Region A on there. But it worked on my 4K player, which is set to Region B. It's not a multi-region 4K player. So for me, this is multi-region. And again, this is definitely multi-region as well, because I played this on my 4K player and the Blu-ray and the DVD, which are exactly the same, version. They play incredibly. And quickly, I'll show you a screenshot from the DVD. Both versions are great in my estimations, and I don't see much of a dip in the DVD quality. In fact, I think the grain is a little bit less on the DVD. As you know, when you get a bit of a higher definition, you get a little bit slightly more grain, but can't wait to check this one out. So, the grave has got a poster in it. I think the VSA ones, which open up from the bottom, they do come with posters. That's quite a large poster there. And there's a reverse art. On the back it says King, Craig Sheffer from Nightbreed, and Tyne, Josh Charles, four brothers, are inmates in a North Carolina prison who overhear the story of the grave, which promised us buried treasure to anyone daring enough to embark on its quest. Naturally, the two break out of prison with the intent to dig up the mysterious loot, only to end up in a twisty crime and horror-filled saga involving fellow criminals, old flames, and a character known only as the Priest, played by Keith David from They Live. Amazing actor. An idiosyncratic and highly entertaining entry in the post-Tarantino indie crime cinema of the mid-90s, Jonas Pate's Deceiver TV's Outer Banks, clever amalgam of Southern Gothic, hard-boiled fiction, dark comedy, and tales from the crypt-esque horror yarn, is utterly unique and elevated by an astonishing supporting cast including Eric Roberts, never released on Blu-ray. Vinegar Syndrome Archive, that must mean VSA, is proud to present this overlooked genre oddity in a brand new 2K restoration from 35mm Vault Elements. Yeah. I put this on and I had a look through it, and I must admit I've never seen this before. This is 1995. This is from running time 90 minutes. I like a horror movie at 90 minutes is a perfect time for me, I've got to say. So I stuck this on, and I know what I mean about the whole Tales from the Crypt side of thing. Got these two inmates talking about this scenario, and these people are overhearing them, and they go off and they try and find this treasure. And I think everything goes wrong from what I can understand. I've never seen this one, but this sounds really intriguing. And it's amazing to think that these films are coming out. Vinegar Syndrome have this knack of just taking these like long forgotten films that could have just went by the by. That's what they're all about. Anything that Vinegar Syndrome do tackle, I'm all for. And they've got another two classics here that, yes, they're low budget, but they're really highly entertaining. This one is just a laugh a minute. And this one sounds like it's going to have everything that I would like about the film. It's got like a lot of different things all amalgamated, as it said, into one thing to make this like really enjoyable horror film. So I've got to say a massive thanks to my good friend David John Barnes. This is just astounding to receive these two things in perfect condition, brand new, amazingly packed, and just absolutely brilliant. So I can't thank you enough, and it's just amazing to have these things. I'm going to watch this one immediately because it's this thing that I've been dying to see for a long time after not watching it. And I think with fresh eyes as well, maybe I was a little bit hypercritical when I saw it to think, "Hang on, this is so low budget. Maybe it's not what I thought it was in the cover." But I think with this one being fully uncut, obviously, and I do now know about so good it's bad or low budget stuff can be really entertaining. Can't wait to see it. So thanks for watching. You take care, especially you, David, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.